As a chemistry student, if you fail to report this as well as this, then you're on your way to failure in WAEC Chemistry Practical Titration. And I'm here to make sure that you don't miss any points in the upcoming exam, WAEC Chemistry Alternative A. So, after making your table correctly like this, you should ensure that you include the volume of pipette used as well as the indicator used. So if it's methyl orange, you indicate. If it's phenolphthalein, whatever it is, please include it on top of your table. Also, don't include titre values that differ with more than 0.2. This is 24.60. This is 24.5 and 24.5. These three values were included. The rough is more than 0.2 apart. So that is what stated. Do not forget the volume of pipettes used as well as the indicator, and make sure your tables are recorded correctly. So welcome back to this channel. For today, we'll be looking at 100% predicted questions that you are most likely expected to see in the alternative A. We know our reagents as H2SO4 as well as NaOH, tetraoxosulfuric acid and sodium hydroxide. But here, we're trying to look at all the possible questions so that you wouldn't have any reason to be confused at any point. Rather, you're going to give 100% feedback for any question that is provided. So without further ado, let's dive straight to business. These instructions right here are the normal chemistry instructions. So go straight to A is a solution of a dibasic acid, H2S. B is a solution containing 1.2 of sodium hydroxide in 300 cm cube. All these are the usual instructions. We'll go straight to the equation of reaction, and this is it. So we set up as usual. This is what we have. So we set up our titrant. And just having a white tile around here, we'll be able to get our endpoints and draft our table of value as shown here. So we'll be using this table of value. We'll be using this title value right here, because you need to calculate your volume of acid used. And also, students fail to remember this. Your initial is below your final. Your initial reading is below your final reading, not above, but below. Okay. Bringing out relevant data, we are expected to calculate the mass, concentration, and the likes. So what we're going to look at now is that we'll try to bring out our data so that we'll be looking at it and we'll use it accordingly. So what were we given? We're not given the concentration of the acid. Yeah, in the initial question, we're not given that. Both mass concentration or molar concentration, none. We're not given that. We were given the mass of XOH, the base, in 30 cm cube. So this is the mass and this is the volume. An average titer as calculated is this. Pipette is 25 cm cube. This value here was not given initially, although you should note in some question they're going to give you this alongside the initial question. You would see the second question we'll be solving would do this, but for this question, let's follow accordingly. So they said we should calculate the mass concentration of solution B in gram per dm cube. So this is our data. Given this data, how can we calculate the mass concentration of the solution B? So how can we do that? To calculate the mass concentration of solution B, we can use a couple of methods. I highlighted two in this video. The first one is direct formula method. Direct formula method just entails that if you're looking for mass concentration whose unit is gram per dm cube, that means you can actually get gram and get the dm cube of B and divide it. That's just what this formula method entails. So we'll go to our given data, we'll bring out the gram, we'll bring out the volume in cm cube, divided by 1000 sites to be in dm cube, and that's it. We're done with the formula method. So that's it. We have 4 points, 4.0. So let's see method B or method 2. Ratio method. Actually, I love using this method. This is the one I'm used to. And yeah, the other one is also easy as well. So you could try it out. Now for this one, remember in our question, we're actually giving the question like this. Mass of XOH 1.2 in 300 cm cube. That is to say, in 300 cm cube contains 1.2. What will 1000 contain? If you get what 1000 contain, then you've gotten the gram per dm cube. You've gotten the mass concentration, because that is the gram in dm cube, in 1 dm cube. So that's just it, in 1000 cm cube. So that's how you use this method, and that's how you can calculate the mass concentration using any of the two methods. And I said I like to use this method. That's what you find me using most of the time. So concentration of B in moles per dm cube, moles per dm cube. And now that is molar concentration. Now that we have the mass concentration, we could now use this formula. We cannot use CAVA all over CBVB equals NA over NB, because we don't know the concentration of A. So you can't be looking for two things at the same time. So that's why this is the best approach, because someone will ask, why are you not using CAVA and O? You get, that's the reason why we're not using CA, because we don't have CA yet. We don't even have any information about the acid actually. So, and you can see our available data because it has been updated, as you can see. So let's move. If you put all the parameters right, you get 0.1 mole per dm cube. Next question. Concentration of A in moles per dm cube, and this is the right spot to use your CAVA equals to CB, or all over CBVB equals to NA over MB, because you now have your CB and you are looking for your CE. And look at it, you have NA from the equation of reaction as 2, as 1, and you have your MB as 2. And when you put correctly, you have a molar concentration of your acid. Molar mass of H2Y. H2Y. If you want to get the molar mass of H2Y, it's actually also very, very simple. So how can you go about that? If you take a look at the initial question, they didn't actually give us anything about the acid, and you see here it's in question mark. But going down a little bit, you would see that IV, when they asked for H2S, they provided an information. They said the molar mass, we should calculate the molar mass of H2S given that 250 cm cube of solution A. So instead of giving us this information initially, they are giving it to us now. This is just to confuse you. When you know this, then your solving becomes easier. So let's take it down to 1000. Since they said 250 contains this, let's take it down to 1000, because that's going to, it would be easier for us to calculate. It will be easier for us to use this formula, because right now they said we want the molar mass, and you know, molar concentration is mass concentration over molar mass. We just made molar mass the subject, and this is it. So what would this give us? This whole calculation is going to give us the mass concentration, because what if you check, I told you I'm going to use that method again. I love using that method a lot. So when you give me data just like this, I just check what is in 1000, and that's it. That's my mass concentration, and our answer is 115.5. Right now we have so many data available to explore, but we were asked to get the relative atomic mass of Y. But that's basically the value of Y. And how do we go about that? The value of Y, in order to get that for H2Y, you could just say, okay, you've gotten the relative atomic mass of the compound. You've gotten the molar mass of the compound H2Y. Let's just add up and see. So if you add up, you can make Y the subject and you get your answer, and that is what we have. However, it's important for us to note this, that this Y 113.5, it's important for us to note that the value of Y that is obtained in this video was just assumed. So the idea is to teach and make you learn and know how to do it with confidence. The actual reagent, if this particular question would come out, the actual reagent or what Y would be would likely be SO4. So if you check that, it's most likely 96. So your value is expected to be close to 96 if you are looking for Y. So it's important I make this clear as well. So for our next question, which is actually a little bit different, how? So instead of putting the X in the acid, they put the X for the base. Then secondly, they didn't give us this value below. They give us here. That's just the only difference. So with this, let's see what we can do. So I'll try to bring out my data. They say we should calculate this. So let's get our data right. Molar concentration of the acid, or A, was given. Now, molar concentration of the base, mass concentration of the base, or mass of the base, rather, mass of the base was given in this volume. And these are our volumes of base and acid. Let's proceed. I have highlighted my data as usual to avoid stress, and we're about to calculate the concentration of B in moles per dm cube. So why are we doing this? Why are we using CAV? That's the question. Why are we not just doing something else? Okay, so for concentration, the formulas you can use is that CAVA, or you're doing molar concentration. Get so if you do molar concentration, it's equals to mass concentration over molar mass. Yes, you could actually use that formula too, but for that formula to work, you need to get the mass concentration first, which is not hard. I've given you two methods you could use. So, but I just want to get it direct, and that's it, because we have our CA, we have our VA, we have literally everything to use this formula. So our answer is 0.0981. Now, in order to get the molar mass of XOH, which is we have our unknown as X, we need to now get the mass concentration. Why? Because we're about to use the formula that we know, this formula, just that this now is the subject. We're just going around and round and round. So when you ask the question, you try to look at your parameters. What do you have and what are you looking for? What are the formulas you know? This would guide your next step. So go through step by step, you know exactly what happened here. So I said I used this to know my mass, like my mass concentration. I told you the two methods you could explore, and this is it. This is your answer. So we're getting now the relative atomic mass of X, just as usual, and this is it. So if this video was helpful to you, this video was helpful, kindly click on the like button and subscribe if you have not, and stay tuned for more educative videos. Thank you very much.